Hey there, this is Anil. Today we are going to talk about database indexes. It's a very powerful tool for making efficient queries, keeping your user happy, and it's one of the important aspect of database design. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's understand what are the indexes. Assume you have a table. This table may have multiple columns in it, like ID, first name, last name, and so on and so forth. It may have multiple rows in it. It could have 1 million rows. So let's assume that you have a table which have multiple columns like ID, first name, last name, and then you have number of rows. Let's assume that you have millions of rows in this table. What will happen in case if you want to search for any record, you will write a query as select star from this table where some condition. So if that condition is if ID equals to some number, if first name equals to some value or last name equals to some value, that query will go and fire against this database table schema and will fetch the record. This might be time consuming because you are not aware about where that particular record is located. But what indexes can be performed on single column or it can be performed on multiple columns. So it is very similar reading a book. And as you know, like if you want to read a book and you want to start from a particular chapter, there are two ways. One, you scroll through or you just browse through all the pages and reach to that particular page or particular lesson. The other and efficient workaround is you go to the index page, skim through all number of pages or number of lessons on that book, and then directly jump on that page number. That is more efficient. So very similar. Index in the database table is index in the database table is the same thing where you can create a copy of content along with its position. So you will have the position here. For example, if you are creating a index on first name, you will have first name and then the position. As you know that most of these database structures have row ID or uniquely identifier for each individual record. So indexes are also working in the same manner where you have created an index of values and then its relevant position number. In Oracle, it could be row ID. In a different database, it could be something else. So, and this is not accessible. This position, this index, you cannot accessible what algorithm any particular database schemas are using. So what you have in control, you can create indexes on one column or more than one column. So that's one example. Another example which you can see from here that this is the index and very similar to the structure that I have shown here. It is your unique identifier for this particular record. If someone wants to search for a data, this is the address and this address will go and search for George Waltman. That's the value against it. So indexes are very efficient in terms of searching. There are other side, the flip side of the indexes as well. Every time when you are going to save any information in the database table, you have to create an entry in the index schema as well, which is time consuming. So you have to choose when to have indexes and when to have not. In most of the cases, any reporting schema generally have indexes, whereas the transactional database, we avoid indexes to speed up the transaction throughput. Let's see how to create the indexes. Run this query and create local customers and table is created. Select asterisk from local underscore customer. So this is, you can see that the data is copied. It has around 102 rows. Search again, first underscore first name equals to Gustav, right? This is the query that I'm running. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, out of this query, I will just look for a particular name in first name. So select testing from local customer where cust underscore first name equals to Gustav. So it returns this data. If I want to index on this, how do we do that? Right, index, then you should give the index name. In general, my preference is to give table name or the prefix for table name, local customers. Then on which column you are going to apply, first name, then IDX, that's a suffix. So this way you should be able to know on which table you have created this index, on local customers and first name. So this is the syntax using which you can create index on this particular table. Let's run it. In this one, we have created local customers and this is valid one. Let's look at the index here. Sometimes live SQL will give you a few challenges, so you need not to worry about. You need to refresh and you should be able to get to the page. Local customers name index is created, that is non-unique, and it is on customer number first name. So this is how you can create the index, and you will see the benefit of creating index in your database table. When you have millions of rows, it takes a lot of time to retrieve the data, but as soon as you build the indexes, and you need to be very careful, you need to choose what indexes are frequently used by looking at different data plan, query plan, and then only you should go for it. Indexes are very useful if they are used efficiently. Also, there are different kind of indexes, and let me know in the comment section if you want to know more about those kind of indexes, and let me know about did you understand this well. Thank you.